Hey everyone, for this practical, I'm going to be discussing bird migration and tools for tracking them. I selected the third option regarding tracking the three largest flocks of geese in the region in order to alert the receiving bird sanctuaries when they begin their migration. I want to begin by showing what typical migration patterns look like in North America. Two examples are shown here on this slide. From the geographer's toolbox, the obvious choice for tracking birds would be GPS and tracking. There have been lots of advancements in recent years when it comes to tracking bird migrations, and these advancements are going to help us in this scenario. From these migration maps, we can see the consistency of patterns that birds take to find food in the colder months. They come all the way from northern Canada to southern United States, or they will fly to other warmer regions of the same kind of area if this is sufficient for their survival in the wintertime. Satellites allow us to follow bird migrations exactly and require putting trackers on the birds to follow their flight patterns. An example of this, the satellite trackers, can be seen in the photo on the right. We also have access to a software that I found while researching bird migration tracking. It's made by the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, and it allows us to see real-time bird migration up to a week in the future. It also allows you to track current birds. So there are lots of kind of utilizations. There's a lot more on this website as well, but this was kind of just the one I chose to snapshot because I thought this was the most well pertaining to this scenario. The software uses weather patterns as well as radar and other special algorithms to predict the destination of migratory birds. Weather, air pressure, and wind will all affect the start, end, and path of the migration. Understanding the weather patterns will give a good starting point as to where flocks are going to migrate, or essentially how far they will have to migrate during a particular year to find food. Previously researched data would allow us a good estimate of where these birds will end their migration, giving us an opportunity to notify the receiving bird sanctuaries. Bird migration has obviously been studied for many years, as we have lots of resources to track migrations, as there is a lot known about the consistency of migratory patterns. This consistency allows us to predict relatively accurately where certain birds will end their migration. The consistency of migrations are shown in the figures on the left. We can see here that the color-coded routes even have specific names for that path, indicating how many birds really do take these specific paths. Birds of a flock will stay together, so tracking three different flocks of birds will tell you whether they all go to the same place or if the flocks have different patterns. This software allows you to track them from the beginning to the end, giving you an accurate time span of their migration. We can see the efficacy of using weather patterns from the figure on the right. This is a very accurate measure of when birds will start their migration and the path they will take to get to their destination. As for most birds, changing temperatures trigger the start of migration. Lastly, here are my references, and thank you for watching.